he simply felt exasperated by the blossoming of a field where his philosophical ideas had begun to seem outdated. On a more cynical take, perhaps he just wanted to draw attention to himself. Yet he could have meant that neuroscience is mining results that he does not know how to absorb into his usual way of thinking. I am reasonably certain that he does not believe in a soul apart from the brain. That is not the problem. Did he perhaps mean that he does not want to learn about the mechanisms underlying his thoughts and attitudes? Mechanisms that involve cells and chemicals interlocked in causality? Each of us thinks we know ourselves better than anyone else can know us. But if the unconscious brain is a major factor in what we think at this very moment, and what we feel at this very moment, the ground under our feet may seem to be falling away. Maybe my friend found himself gravitating to the anti-enlightenment view that the mystery of the brain and how it works is better left alone. Maybe he feels that when it comes to the brain, not knowing is more valuable than knowing. Does he worry that neuro-knowledge is forbidden fruit, a Promethean fire, a Pandora's box, a Faustian bargain, an evil genie released from a rightly sealed bottle? What sense would that codswallop make? Deep resistance to knowledge that betokens a change in a whole way of thinking has a long history. Think only of the horror displayed by the cardinals in Rome when Galileo discovered the moons of Jupiter with his amazing new tool, the telescope. The cardinals refused to even take a look. Galileo realized that Jupiter's moons are circling Jupiter and that Venus is circling the sun, and so, crikey, probably Copernicus was right. Earth is also circling the sun, meaning that Earth is not the center of the universe. Not long after his announcement, Galileo was placed under house arrest and forced to recant his hypothesis that Earth revolves around the sun. His decision to recant had been influenced by his having been shown the implements of torture. So what was the big deal about Earth circling the sun? Every schoolchild learns that now, and it does not stir up a hornet's nest. Why did the cardinals care so much? Did they hate Earth's revolution around the sun? The general answer is that they cared because of what they believed about the physics of the universe. The conventional wisdom of the day assumed that Earth is at the center of the universe. Everything below the level of the moon is corruptible, changeable, earthly, imperfect. That is the realm of sublunar physics. Everything above the level of the moon is perfect, heavenly, unchanging, and so forth. That is the realm of supralunar physics. Different laws were thought to apply. The stars were widely thought to be holes in a huge sphere, literally made of crystal, that enclosed the universe. Earth at the center, of course. This cosmology was derived from biblical text. Copernicus and Galileo threw that cosmology under the bus. The moons of Jupiter looked pretty much like our moon, meaning that they might be dirtballs too. And so Jupiter might just be like Earth. But then, did God not create Earth at the center of the universe? Does this mean that the crystal sphere does not exist? But where then is heaven, if not just above the moon? Where did Jesus go when he ascended bodily into the sky? A specific, long-held worldview is fundamentally challenged, and the challenge generated fear of what might replace that worldview. The very institution of the Christian Church was founded on the belief in the bodily resurrection of Jesus into an actual place, heaven. And this actual place is above the moon, and maybe even above the stars. If you believe something to be absolutely certain and foundational, it is profoundly shocking to find that your truth may be mushy, or worse, quite likely false. Think next of the impact of the discovery by the English scientist William Harvey in 1628 that the heart is actually a pump made of muscle. Consternation! Say it is not so. Not a mere meat pump. What was the big deal about the heart? The conventional wisdom of Harvey's time accepted a very different story that had been proposed by the